Welcome to episode 1 of season 2 of Model Airport Reviews, where today I'll be reviewing 8 of your model airports. Let's get started. The first airport I'll be reviewing in season 2 is Jackson County Airport, located in Jackson, Michigan, made by Slushy Aviation. This airport is very well detailed, and I think he did an incredible job building this airport. I love all the types of American carriers and how he used a background which makes this image look very realistic. I also love the amount of detail put into the terminal and the ATC tower, which makes this airport look very realistic. This image of the Southwest 737 looks amazing on the runway with the threshold markings and the stow, which makes his airport look very realistic. This image also looks great with this United Express either CRJ-900 or 700. I also like the precise detail in the taxi lines and all the snow, again, which makes this airport look really good. There's not many tips I could give about this airport because although it only took 2 weeks, it is very well detailed. If I had to give a tip, I would make sure to glue down your modeling grass. As I can see, it's pulling up here. You can use like Elmer's glue or maybe even a hot glue gun as well. The apron looks amazing, and I think this airport is a great contender to move on to the season 2 grand finale. Anyway, let's move on to the second airport in season number 2. The second airport I'll be reviewing, also made by Slushy Aviation, is Slushy Metropolitan Airport, located in Slushy, Michigan, a fictional city in the USA. That kind of looks familiar from an airport in season 1.
Flashback.
The next airport I'll be reviewing, I hope I pronounced it correct, is Bardowski International Airport, located in Michigan.
End of flashback.
Okay, but seriously, this is the same airport that was actually made by Bardowski Aviation back in season 1. Anyway, I think he's added some new things like a great cargo area and a hangar that I see in the back, which is very cool. His ground markings, his terminal, and his apron all look good, making this airport look very realistic, and the iconic A380 gate as well. At nighttime, his airport lights up, and I think that is a very cool effect and touch to his model airport. As I look back at this photo of this Delta A350, using the styrofoam is very cool, which makes it look like his plane is in the air. I also love the amount of greenery on the modeling grass, and it looks really good. He has a great amount of modeling grass and a great amount of models, so I think this airport is very good and it has a chance to make it to the grand finale. Let's move on to the third airport in today's episode. The next airport I'll be reviewing is Snow Peak International Airport, which is a 1/400 scale located in Colorado, made by UV Studios. And here's the thing, this isn't even the full frame. This is making this airport huge and super detailed, and he's added so many more things than last time when I reviewed it in season number 1. Let me just give you a rundown of the amount of extra things that he's added to his airport. Food court, mountain, ski resort, highway, forest, gas station, rental car place, and terminals made out of cardstock. What the heck? How many things have you added to this airport? Anyway, I'm going to stop you here because the amount of detail that is in this photo is insane. The wood, the snow, the amount of ground crew services that he's added, the jet bridges, the trees, everything looks perfect. In this photo, we can see a Star Alliance United 777 here, which looks great with the snow. I love the amount of trees and the gas station. That is super realistic. The rental car place, super realistic. And the new Terminal 1 with the snow makes it look very realistic. And just to clarify, I'm going to show you an image of season 1 of this airport in season 2. Here's season 1, and here's season 2. Big difference, right? Well, maybe because there is a big difference. He has great amount of modeling grass. He has great amount of jet blast deflectors, great amount of ground crew services, and I also love the United patches on the jet bridges. I also love the amount of detail that was put on the roofs because it makes it really look really realistic, and this seems like an actual airport. This airport is unbelievable, and it has a very high chance, in my opinion, of making it to the grand finale. Anyway, let's move on to the fourth airport. This airport is very good. The fourth airport I'll be reviewing, also made by UV Studios, is Central Plains Regional Airport, which is located in Nebraska, USA. The thing is, this airport only took 45 minutes, and I still think he did an amazing job. As we can see through all the photos, we can see modeling grass, which is a very realistic touch and makes your airport look very realistic. First, the runway markings look perfect. Second, the taxi lines also look perfect, although you might be able to outline them with a black ink pen. He has great amount of ground crew services, including buses, catering trucks, fuel trucks, and pushback tugs. He also has great amount of American regional aircraft, including a Delta Connection plane and a United Express plane, which are both CRJs. There's not much else I could say about this airport because of how small it is, although I do like this photo because this makes a great Nebraska touch. Now what you could do is possibly add some miniature crops, which will make this airport fit the Nebraska theme very well. Although this airport is small and only took 45 minutes, I still think this airport has a good chance at making it to the grand finale. Let's move on to the fifth airport in today's episode. The fifth airport I'll be reviewing is Vancouver City Airport, which is a Darren airport made by Plane Spotter Lever, located in Langley, British Columbia. The first thing that came into mind is how unique his airport is, using at-home materials and other toy cars. Some things I like about his airport is his terminal. As we can see, it doesn't have a roof, so it must have an interior. It looks really good, but you might be able to add a couple more things in there that would make it look really realistic. Still good in my opinion. Another thing we can see is how he's used play sets for his ground crew services, which is a very cost-friendly way from Gemini Jet's very expensive ones. Some more unique things that he's added to his airport are how he's used cones for his runway and what seems to be an RC car controller as his ATC tower. He's also added a UPS hangar, which is really cool. He's also added a full parking lot with a fighter jet as well, which is a very cool and unique touch to his airport. The main tip I would give you is markings. You can use maybe some tape for your taxi line markings and for your runway markings as well, which will make your airport look really good. The more I looked at this airport, the more cool it becomes. I think this airport is way better than I expected, and I think your airport looks really good. Anyway, let's move on to, I think, the sixth airport in this episode. The sixth airport I'll be reviewing is DFR International Airport, which is a Darren airport located in Memphis, Tennessee, built by Aviation Force. Now, this airport looks pretty good already, but the fact that he built this in one day is actually pretty impressive. First of all, his airport lights up, which is a very cool, neat touch. He also has 2 commercial terminals and 1 freighter terminal. He has great amount of aircraft, including this Hawaiian A330 and the Cessna 172. As we can see in the back as well, he's also added a monorail, which is really, really cool. He's also added some detail on the front of his terminal, including these signs, which is really cool. Some tips I would give you for your airport are probably adding some taxi lines, because I don't really see any taxi lines connecting to Terminal 2. I also would probably recommend maybe adding some modeling grass, which will make your airport look really good. You can also add some ground crew services, which you can either find on Gemini Jets or littlemodelairport.com for really cost-friendly versions. Overall, if you follow these tips, I think you might have a very good airport. Still good for one day, in my opinion. Let's move on to the 7th airport in today's episode. Second to last airport I'll be reviewing is Bartlett Regional Airport, located in Bartlett, Tennessee, made by Aviation Force. Now, this airport was built in 10 minutes, and that kind of brings up the point of some tips that I would like you to maybe think about adding to your airport when you continue building. Some tips I'd probably give you are maybe adding some stands like a helicopter pad and some remote stands where aircraft can park. You can add some taxi lines with either tape or some yellow markers with an outline of a black ink pen. Adding some modeling grass would also help your model airport look very realistic, and also some ground crew services, which you can find on Gemini Jets or littlemodelairport.com. Link in the description below. Since you made DFR Airport, which was the last airport, I think maybe adding some lights would also add a very cool touch to your airport. Anyway, if you use these tips, I think your airport will look amazing. Anyway, let's move on to the final airport in today's episode. Final airport I'll be reviewing is ITX International Airport, located in Toronto, Canada, made by Antonio's Gaming. And I think this person has done a great job building his airport out of homemade materials around his house. He's used markers, crayons, and cardboard, Darren play sets, and many other things, which is really cool. One thing I noticed from last season is that he is colored in his apron, which makes his taxi lines stand out a little bit better, but you can also maybe outline them with a black ink pen. He's also added, I think, a remote stand, which is very, very cool. He has great amounts of aircraft and even some ground crew services from toy cars and the Air Canada Darren playset. Maybe outlining your taxi lines and adding a few more ground crew services will make your airport look very realistic. You can also maybe add some modeling grass as well, which will make your airport look very good. Anyway, I think your airport looks pretty good for now. Now that we have reached the end of this video, comment down your top 2 favorite airports that you think should move on to the grand finale. Voting will be due December 26th at 4 p.m. Peace.